Alex, maybe just talk a little bit about what this week's like for you with Drake obviously getting his first NFL start.
It's like any other week. You're trying to put the best plan together to win the game. Obviously, with the quarterback change, it's you change a little bit in your approach. I would say that's definitely true. But excited to get a chance to go out and play on Sunday and try to get us a win at home.
Alex, a couple weeks back I asked you what you thought the best course of action was for Drake, and at that time you thought sitting over playing was the right way to go. Has that changed, or what? Why did that change?
I think it's a combination of a couple of things, really. Offensively, we're not where we want to be, from a production standpoint, especially in the pass game. I think that leads to some of that decision, and also the fact to see his growth and development over those weeks of practice and what he's put on the practice field. I think two of those combined, we're close. We're a couple plays away from being 3-2 and feeling a lot better about where we are right now. But the reality of it is we're not. We're 1-4, and at this point we need to find something to get us a chance to win on Sunday. And we thought with Drake's development over the past first part of the season on the practice field that he was ready to step in and take over.
Drew, it looks like this was something that was solely his decision. Do you feel the same way, just like he's ready and this is the right call to put Drake in?
Yeah, I mean, we all sat together and gave our opinions on what we thought, and ultimately it's his decision. And I'm on board with that decision. I am. I'm excited to see Drake play. It's his time. I think he's prepared. He's done a great job on the practice field getting ready for this moment. Not to take anything away from Jacoby. I mean, I'm so proud of him and what he's accomplished. And it may not be great statistically, but the stuff he does for this offense has been unbelievable over the first 5 weeks of the season. So, he's a great teammate. And he's been great in the meetings this week trying to get Drake ready to go, giving him his full support.
Alex, how will Drake's athleticism help the offense, and how does that allow you to get a little bit more creative?
Definitely. He has shown throughout the preseason and camp and everything that he has the legs, and his college tape shows that as well. So it does give you some flexibility.
You mentioned his development on the practice field. Just how have you seen that development over the first 5 weeks here?
His understanding, he's like a sponge. He stands back there and watches everything. He's very involved in the meetings, very vocal in the meetings as well. His knowledge has grown over the course of, since we've had him since the draft. He's more prepared now than he ever has been to handle the challenges that'll be presented on Sunday. And again, his play on the field, to watch the balls he throws out there, the accuracy, the down the field stuff that he's been able to show on the practice field is I think it gives us a chance to go win on Sunday.
Coach, it's been reported that Drake has been better against the blitz in practice, and I know you referenced the different kind of line games he'll see in the NFL and pressure schemes. Was that one of the last big boxes he needed to check before you were comfortable putting it out?
That's a big part. As a quarterback, young quarterback especially, you need to know how to protect yourself. You need to know where the issues lie, how the protections are schemed, and where the holes in those protections are. And I think he's made great strides there. We had a blitz period to start practice yesterday against our defense, 6 plays, and he was 6 for 6 in making decisions and understanding the issues.
How does that tie in with, the defense you're facing that they held Josh Allen, I think, to 131 yards and touchdown, and they sacked Caleb Williams 7 times, picked him twice. How does that factor in what you're doing?
It's challenging, obviously. That's a strong defense. They do a great job with their scheme as well as, with their players. They're very talented edge rushers. We got to make sure we handle those edges. It's almost having like 2 guys like Bosa a little bit on the edges. So you got to make sure we're taking care of the edges. And at the same time, very somewhat basic on first and second down. But oh my gosh, when you get to third down, they're coming from everywhere. They have every conceivable package of structures of defense, and they bring all their guys. So big challenge for us. From a protection standpoint. If we can stay out of third and down all game, that'd be excellent. But I know we'll be in it. And we have to perform on third down, stay on the field.
You touched on this really briefly, but given the depth of your background with Jacoby, I imagine there's a personal feeling.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was hard for me. It's hard anytime you make a quarterback change. You're in that room, and those guys were also connected in there. Obviously, our relationship from Cleveland, there's a lot of weight there, and it's tough to see a guy go out there and do what he's done. Again, taking the hits and making plays when he has the opportunity, and saying, "Hey, we're going to hand the ball off to the young guy." It's tough, but again, I think was a guy that we wanted here, knowing his personality and his team first mentality, knowing that he was going to be, bringing along a young quarterback. And I think that was one of the decisions we made as an organization of the type of person we wanted to bring in the building to work with Drake.
Alex, you mentioned it's important for a young quarterback to know how to protect himself. What can you do Sunday to help protect him, given the issues you've had with pressure?
Yeah, no, there's definitely things schematically, not getting into the scheme, but there's definitely going to be ways that we can, ensure that we're going to take care of situations when there's a lot of pressure. I don't want to get into schematics, but a lot of different ways to help through play calls, whether that be running the ball more, quick game screen, everything that goes into that, but trying to find ways to negate that rush.
Alex, yesterday, Drake talked about playing on time and in rhythm and within the structure of the offense. How do you also encourage him to use some creativity on the field when needed while doing those things that you guys have obviously sort of emphasized?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's going to be natural for him, knowing when there is a crease he can maybe sneak through and use his legs. I think that comes natural for those guys. Obviously on time and in rhythm is a big part of what we need to get done based on their ability to rush the passer. But there will be opportunities where there'll be an opportunity for him to use his legs and hopefully pick up yards and protect himself there at the end of that run as well.
Do you think he's shown an ability to kind of find that balance in practice? I know it's different. He's not going to be hit in practice, but have you seen some of that in practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to training camp, more of the offense versus defensive periods. There were some plays there where he saw something and used his legs to pick up a first down, say on a third down.
You've talked about how every week you learn something as a play caller. This past week, what stands out to you about what you learned from that?
Oh, man. From a play calling standpoint, I know everybody talks about the second half call right before halftime of not running the ball in 2nd and 2. Still kind of torn on that one myself personally. We had 2 chances to get 2 yards to get a first down. We took a shot there, one of our best wideouts on a corner. Gave him opportunity. We didn't win on the route. We didn't make the throw we needed to make. Came back on 3rd down. We had potentially a guy open there. Didn't get it to him, and then now we're punting. But 2nd and 2, I'm feeling confident that we can get it, whether we decide to run it or pass it. In hindsight, yeah, you run the ball there, chew off some more time on the clock. It's that fine line of being aggressive or, saying, hey, I'm just going to run the ball here and try to milk the clock and take us out of the halftime. We haven't been productive on offense through the past game, so I was probably a little more aggressive than I needed to be at that point.
Alex, how would you self-scout, 5 weeks in totality as a play caller, what you've done so far?
I feel like I've put us in some good situations. I've had some bad calls. Obviously, the Jets game haunts me a little bit, some of the calls in that game, but we all collectively just have to be better. I have to be better in situational football and in situations like that. At the same time, we all just need to step up our game, across the board. Across the board, everybody included, coaches, players, we all have to be better, and I challenge those guys this week to have our best week of practice, starting with yesterday, and I thought we put our good foot forward yesterday, looking forward to this afternoon's practice.
Alex,
3 more questions.
what did you see from Darian Lowe and Montre Jacobs last week, and how do you feel about that tackle combination going forward?
Feel strong about him, and I think Darian's playing at a high level. He's probably our best pass blocker on that edge. Did a really good job. I thought protection was better as the game went on. We had a couple struggles early, but we're doing better things. And, of course, Trey, when he gets over there, he's going to continue to improve, going from left to right in his second start, and a couple schematic errors, but really cleaned that up as the game went on. Real encouraged about the edges.
Alex,
Regarding situational play calling and so forth, you haven't had a lot of reps in the red zone. And I know on Sunday against Miami, you had the 12 round. Can you go back and look at the red zone issues for this team, first 5 weeks of the season, what stand out for you? And when we saw Drake score on a design run preseason, does that expand, like getting into the schematics, what you can do in practice?
Absolutely, yeah. They'll give us more options, for the use of the quarterback run if we need to. I think the biggest thing we need is reps in the red zone. Get down there more often. It wasn't good early. I felt like we had a good plan last week. We had a chance there, to go up at the end of the game, and an inch or two here, we were short. But I feel like our plans are good going in. Just need more swings at the plate in the red zone.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, thanks, guys.